Good day, everyone. Hi, it's Anthony here from Enlightened Business Solutions, and we're here with our second episode of We Mean Business. And this is the business show that's designed for small business owners. And we'll be speaking with small business owners from across the country and providing some valuable information on various topics where we expect the audience to comment and get involved as well and ask some questions. I'd like to make it clear that we are not, we don't have any agenda. We're not affiliated with any political party or any religious groups. All our shows will be streamed to Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. No cutting, no editing, no mixing, no scratching, completely raw and unfiltered. If there's something you'd like to know about, send through your comments, and we'll try and provide that information for you also. With everything going on at the moment, we thought we would start with a mini segment on COVID-19 where we'll be sharing real life stories from business owners, how they're coping during these times. And the idea is that hopefully we'll be able to learn from the mistakes and also the successes a small business Victoria. Greg runs okay. Is that working?
Yeah, you cut out there for a minute, but I've got you back now.
Yeah, no worries. Good day, Greg. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but it all just went black for a minute, but it's all come back on now.
No worries. It's good that it's working. So Greg, we don't know each other previously, but we've been talking earlier, and Greg reached out on Facebook page when he heard about the show and what we were doing. And I think you've got some good information to share, especially what's going on in regional areas around the country. But tell us a bit more about yourself and your business and what you've been doing.
Yeah, look, I've been in the IT business in Albury Wodonga for probably close on 25, probably more than 25 years, working from home while I had another full-time job, and then taking over an electronics repair shop and sort of adding the computers to that shop. And I've had that shop now for, I was getting on 19 and a half years. So that we've been fairly fluid over that time. The shop has been electronic repairs, computer repairs, computer sales, home theatre. Then we went out of electronic repairs because everyone else was doing it and there wasn't enough, less people were getting things fixed. And it's only just recently that we've bought another business who they were retiring, so we bought that and went back into electronic and white goods repairs, mainly because everyone else seems to be going out of it. So now we looked at the marketplace, and there's a few people out there who are thinking, instead of let's put all this stuff into landfill, let's maybe repair it, which is a form of recycling. So with everyone else going out of it, we've gone back into it, and now we're one of only a few in the Albury Wodonga region that are offering the electronics and white good repairs. So as I said, it wasn't worth it before. It's now come back around. So that's on that side of things. We do home theatre installs. We do computers sales and repairs. We still custom build our own computers. We do laptops. We look after businesses and consumer IT, so whether it be a mum and dad at home or a business. So we do managed services and the whole lot. So we really cover a broad range of things, and I guess that's how I suppose I have a cluttered mind. So that's how I work. I try and cover that whole lot. Some people say you should focus in business, and that does work. That's just not how I work. So, but yeah, we've been around for quite. Yeah.
I think it's interesting that you mentioned that you do the white goods repair as well as the computer repairs. I don't know many businesses in Sydney anyway that sort of have that dual aspect. How did you get into doing both of them?
Well, as I said, when we first bought the business, it was an electronic repair shop um, and did home theatre, and so I thought that, you know, the electronics and the computers was fixing things. So, you know, they might fix a computer monitor. Well, then I could fix the computer that went with it. So the two businesses kind of in my head worked together, whereas I just couldn't work out how I could effectively start a computer repair business or a computer business, you know, from scratch. So I thought, well, if I started off as part of another business and buy this other business, then the two can complement each other, and I've got an existing income stream as my IT, which, as I said, had only been from home before, gradually ramped up. So it sort of came from that and has just kept growing. Over the years, we've done, I suppose we went more retail. So our shop started out about 20 metres by 9 metres. It's now 9 by 9, and we've moved, that extra space is now repair shop. It's probably, for my way of thinking, it's harder to buy repairs online than it is to buy product. So therefore, I'm better off focusing on repairs. We still sell the stuff, we just don't carry it and have it in the shop.
Yeah, I think that's smart. So you mentioned also that you deal with residential and commercial customers. What's the split, and how are you finding that sort of changing over time as well?
Yeah, look, it depends on the part of the business. So we get a lot of people just coming in through the front of the shop just for general repairs. We do have, and I don't know exact numbers of commercial customers, but and because it does overlap as well, you get a lot of commercial customers that bring in their home stuff to get repaired. But also a lot of we don't go for big businesses. We aim to support small local businesses. So even our business customers may only be, I sort of say as a rule of thumb, probably up to about 10 seats, which effectively means 10 computers or 10 people. So we don't aim for the really big ones. Again, it's what I like to deal with. So I don't know exact split. If I looked at my turnover from everything we do, probably 80% of the turnover is computers, and of that 80%, I'd say probably 50% is business and 50% is home. So
so you're doing quite a range of things. How many staff do you have to help you out? Like, how do you find the time?
Yeah, well, we are always pretty busy. So I've got there's two full-time staff. So I've got an electronics technician and a computer technician. So the computer guy, he does a lot of the on-site stuff. Obviously myself. My sister works 2 half days a week. She does some admin stuff and goods receivable. And then I've got a white goods technician, which I've only recently put on, who's at the moment is doing 3 days a week. But our aim, this has only been probably 6 months, so our aim is that he'll go full-time. And he, at the moment, is just going to 4 days a week because the computer side of things is really busy. So he's going to, obviously he can fix some of the computer stuff, so he's filling in that area as well. So we all sort of overlap each other. I mean, my main electronics tech fixes computers. My business tech also studied electronics. So, we all have a bit of a dabble in everyone else's, and you have to do that in small business. You have to do
that in small business. Everybody got to wear a few hats, and you've got to be cross-skilled and ready to jump in when needed. Yeah, for sure. So that brings me to sort of the current situation, COVID-19. How has that affected what you were doing, and how have you changed what you've been doing to sort of keep going?
Yeah, obviously we've done the straight out simple stuff. We've got the hand sanitizer at the front of the store. We have a lovely. I also, as another sideline, do Young Living oils. So we've got some oils in the middle of the shop that are making it smell nice and supposedly cleaning out the germs. We wipe down the benches with isopropyl alcohol and spray Glen 20. So that's the normal stuff. There's X's on the carpet so people know how far they can stand from each other. And I think every other business that's open's had to do that. Other than that, it hasn't changed our business a lot. I mean, we go out on site, so we've had to have a checklist that keeps my customers and my employees safe if they go out on site. Again, they carry gloves and so forth, if they have to go and pick up a TV or someone's washing machine. We dropped off a fair bit of business when it first happened, and really thought this was going to not really affect us. And then it slowly got busier and busier till now we're probably almost back to where we were before this happened, but things have changed. So
in what ways?
Well, see, prior to this, we had a bit of a boom because it was the end of Windows 7. So we had a big boom on upgrading people's computers to Windows 10. There's also been a bit of a boom with solid state drive upgrades because they've become affordable, and that has really taken off now that people are working from home. And so many people are bringing in laptops saying, oh, look, I'm having to work from home, I've had this laptop, it's been sitting in the cupboard for the last 3 years, can we use it? So we got to look at it and find out, was it stuffed, and that's why it was sitting in the cupboard. But we're finding that people with 4 or 5 year old computers or laptops, they may be recoverable. If they were a good laptop when they got it, they weren't a real cheap and nasty consumer one, then sometimes all they need is a bit more RAM and an SSD. And while that upgrade with labor might cost $400, at the moment you can't get, well, there's a big problem getting new laptops for less than $1,000 because there's just a worldwide shortage. So it's still worth upgrading an old computer, providing you've got something solid to build on.
Yeah, I didn't realize that the worldwide shortage for laptops. I know that when I was thinking about starting this show, I had trouble tracking down my webcam for this show as well. And, all of the retail stores were out and all the online stores were out, and I had to wait some time. Otherwise, I would have started this a little bit sooner. But laptops as well. So it's just one of those knock-on effects. So it's something I'm asking everyone, maybe not so much for your business, but maybe for your customers too, or anyone else. If you knew that this was coming, because it all kind of crept up on us really quickly, but if you knew that this was coming 12 months ago, what things might have you done differently, or what things might have you been advising your customers differently?
Okay, so the webcams you mentioned would have been the first thing. I would have stocked up on webcams because I got caught short on that. I would have stocked up on isopropyl alcohol. We actually sell it, and by the time I realised, everyone was out of stock. So, everyone was buying it to make hand sanitizer, and we were lucky we had a 5 litre tub of it, but I would have stocked up on that because I could have made some money. The other thing, as I said, laptops are in all over the place. When this all happened, the Aussie dollar dropped quite a bit, and again, that put the price up. Also, when things are in shortage, then no one discounts. So if there's no discounts, it appears it's the same as putting your prices up. I would have stocked up on a few more laptops. Monitors is the other real shortage on computer monitors. There's just no stock of those at the moment. We've been going okay. So when I say there's no stock of the brands that I would normally sell, which means that I have a few favorite brands, and it's usually an Asus monitor or Samsung, and maybe at the cheaper end, maybe an AOC. I'm not a fan of LG, whereas at the moment I'm having to buy LG because that's what's available. And while I'm not a fan of them, it doesn't mean that they're not right. It's just not my normal brand. So, and the same with laptops. We mainly sell Hewlett-Packard business grade, and where there used to be one that we'd modify. So it was a HP 250 series, and I think they used to sell at $799 RRP, but they had 4 gig of RAM and a mechanical hard drive. So we would buy them in, take out the hard drive, put in a solid state, add an extra 4 gig of RAM, and sell them at $999. And to me, they were then a usable laptop. That model just wasn't around. Then it came in, it had jumped up in price by about $150. So, we've had to hunt around. All the flyers that we handed out to our customers all were no longer valid. So there was a lot of jumping around, and if, as I said, what would we have done? I would have stocked up on webcams, monitors, and laptops.
Yeah, good idea. I think in hindsight is a really good thing sometimes. You mentioned you're the president of the retail association there. Is it Wodonga or Albury Wodonga? How is that classified?
It's just Wodonga. Obviously, we've got Albury Wodonga, and Wodonga has historically been the poor cousin to Albury. Even years ago, Albury was the bigger side of it, and Wodonga was just over the river. Albury was in New South Wales, so they had the poker machines, and so their clubs are massive, and that brought money and businesses into Albury, whereas Wodonga didn't have that until we've only had it for the last a few years. Your pubs have had poker machines. So I started the Wodonga Retailers Group. Originally, it was just me walking around knocking on other businesses' doors, and it started because we had some major roadworks in Wodonga, and when they did my road, I found how much it impacted my business. They came around and said, the council said, we're going to be doing roadworks. Your road's going to be shut. There's going to be access, and the first day I drove into my shop, I turned the corner and I just went, I couldn't even find out how to drive into my shop. And I thought, well, if I can't work that out, my customers are just going to, be the same.
Yeah, no chance. Yeah.
Yeah, they just wouldn't have a hope. And we know that customers, if it's not easy, they won't do it. And if the customer that doesn't come to your shop today, I suppose in my case, they may contact me and work out how to get in touch. But if you're a coffee shop, for example, if they turn the corner and they can't get there, they'll go somewhere else and get their coffee. So I quite simply spoke to the local council and said, hey, this is what the problem is. And I think if we get some signs and we put a sign on the temporary poles they had that says, this is the parking for this business, that's going to work. That's going to help us. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to help us. And so the council said, fine, do it. Send us the bill. So we did, and it helped. I sort of thought then and there was some other things that happened over the time, but after our street was finished, they then moved on to the next. They did the whole high street, which is the main street up there. So they did it in two halves. And I thought, well, I learned some things. I need to help other businesses, share some of the things that I learned and get these businesses. My aim was that they would work together. I did find that it's a funny thing with retailers, a lot of them are very small businesses and they don't always work together. It's like they sort of, their head down, they understand their business, but look, maybe only just. Some of them don't understand social media. The business has been in the family for years and years and years, and it's run by an older person. So I thought, well, let's try and help them. Now, we did that for a while, and I started up the Facebook group, and its aim was to promote Wodonga. So I thought, if we promote Wodonga, then that will promote our own businesses as a flow-on effect. And it has. It's taken, I think I've been doing it for 3 years, and it is still only slowly taking off, but it hasn't done any harm. And I thought, while I'm not doing any harm, the only harm I really did was I had to rethink how much it was affecting my own business. So I was spending more time promoting everyone else's business than my own. So I had to go back to that and say, right, make sure your own business comes first. And then when you've got some spare time, then help everyone else.
Yeah, that's really good. Some good advice there. And I think that's why you sort of identify with what I'm trying to do here too. I think it probably resonates with you a bit more. What's the feeling from the general retail community in the association, the members there, about what's going on, and what stories have you heard about how they're pivoting their own businesses during these times?
There's a big mix, and again, it's in all businesses. We've got businesses that are just completely shut down, so they're just not there anymore. I mean, the pubs, the clubs, the gyms. I mean, I can't go to my gym, so I've had to go and ride a bike out on the road instead of 2 nights a week in the gym. So those businesses are hurting, but then gyms are doing online So they've cut their membership down. You might pay less, but you can do an online course. Some of the pubs are doing takeaways. They've had to put off their employees. One of our local restaurants, and it's a pretty flash restaurant. We're pretty proud of Miss Emily. I think it was a hatted restaurant at one stage. These things are voted on every year, and I think last year they didn't make it, but I really think they should be. So we have a visitor.
Yeah, so you can hear it in the background, can you?
Yeah, a little bit. So so that restaurant obviously couldn't open, and it's not really. You probably could have gone to takeaways, but he's actually worked in with our local Henry's Bakery. So you got Miss Emily and Henry's Bakery. They're now making these gourmet pies. So you're getting cauliflower and truffle pies, and these are really, really nice pies. So that they're working really well. They're promoting each other's business, and it's helping both of them. So you can sit back and cry, this is killing me, or you can work out how to work with it. And as I said, with my business, I've had to be flexible over the years, and I think that's what we all need to do. Things are changing; they always do, and we just got to work out how to make the best of it.
Yeah, for sure. Completely agree with that. And so you mentioned there was a push for you to go online. And so what do you think about sort of online sales? How, is it something that you're winning at, or is it what types of things, and what advice do you have for other people that are making the shift to selling online?
Yeah, look, I think online works very well for some businesses. I don't do a lot of online simply because being in the IT industry, everything's online anyway. And so if I go online, my pricing, obviously I'm in a country area. I've had to freight stuff up here. I also don't buy from the cheapest place. I buy through channels, so I know that I've got support. So it means that our pricing's, it's not normally the cheapest around, but we sell good quality stuff. So I don't do a lot online. I really need to, but we've been that busy that I haven't been able to keep, to put that product online, and that's probably the biggest issue. Although a lot of other local businesses are going that online. So there's a little place in town called That Little Place. She sells locally made products. So whether it be a craft group selling their stuff, or whether it be a local jam, local coffee grinders, that sort of thing, and she sells that. Basically, you put the product in there, she takes a commission. She's actually gone online and is doing okay with that. There's another computer business in Wodonga that's working with our local business, Wodonga, which is the local chamber, and they've created this big. It's like a marketplace, and you can go in, log in, create your own account, create your own online store, and through Business Wodonga, they're actually making the basic store free. So that's
really good.
All just taking off at the moment. Yeah. So and they're also, not only are they doing it and providing the tools, they're actually helping people get in and create the store. So and that's to me, there's a lot of value in that. If you had to pay for it, you might be looking at hours and hours. So you're looking at hundreds of dollars at least, and to get that covered by your local business group is really good. So our Wodonga retailers is sort of proud to be part of it. We're not doing it, but we're proud to support it through those other groups. And we like to work with Business Wodonga, as I said, which is the chamber, and with councils. We don't want to fight against any other group. We've just realised that if we all work together, it'll all work. So, but yeah, as my business, we don't really do a lot online, other than a bit of eBay and that sort of thing. So we have a web page, but not online store.
Yeah. Okay. Great. If you've got, there's a few people listening in at the moment. So if you've got any questions for Greg or I, feel free to comment or just say hi. That'll be great. Moving on to the government incentives. What's the general feel down there in the business community about the government's response to all of this? The incentives, are they helping out? Could they have done more? What's your feel for all of that?
I think confusion is probably the first thing. It's really hard. I've been quite lucky. I have an accountant, a bookkeeper, and a business coach. And so through those and through the business Wodonda, I've had quite a lot of information. So we've been trying to share that out. The council's been sharing some stuff out. And again, I think it depends on the business as to how they get their information. So if as I said, some of the businesses we deal with are not big on social media, so they probably haven't been getting the information, as much as we have. So it's a matter of getting that information out. The few that I have spoken to obviously are taking advantage of it. There's always, I do see people complaining, that it doesn't cover this person, it doesn't cover that person. They've got to remember that we had a government that suddenly had to do all of this. Now, whether they're right or wrong, it's not something they had years and years to plan for. It happened. They had to work out what was the best thing they could do for the majority of people, which means that there's going to be some that are not covered. There's going to be some small businesses that haven't been in business for 12 months. They've only just started. They may have quit their paying job. So where do they get some money? Whereas you've got other businesses, well, it's flat out simple. Their business went from this much money to nothing, therefore they're entitled. So I think the government hasn't done a bad job of it.
What might have things would you do differently in that case there? Yeah.
So one thing that I have noticed is the government is very fluid. They're very, okay, if you don't fit into one of these boxes, then have a talk to them. That's the biggest thing. I mean, yes, that can be hard, trying to get onto Centrelink or whatever. That's always been a difficult thing that you just got to give some time. But have a talk to them and explain your situation, and quite often they'll work something out for you.
Yeah, that's good as well. I think it's good to have a good accountant. We'll be having someone from Kelly Partners sort of on the show in a little while as well. But some good accounting advice is probably helping a lot of businesses get through this. So I think that your business is doing okay from what you're mentioning. But for other businesses in Wodonga, what types of things can the greater business community, if anything, do to support some of them?
Yeah, I think support is the key word there. I think my motto is that when we do something, if we want to buy something, we look local first. If we want to get some support, we look local first. So if we all did that, then our own township, our own business area will do better. Obviously not everything's available in your local business. So then go to, for us, it would be Albury or the surrounding areas. And then
the next Australia.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I really would love to see Australia go back to manufacturing a lot more. I know it's not as easy as it sounds. I've been a member of a number of Facebook groups that were, let's make it all in Australia, and everyone says, now it's like when the milk, there was the thing about the Coles and Woolworths milk. Everyone's going, oh yes, we've got to buy local. And so for a brief period of time, Coles and Woolies milk didn't sell and the local stuff did. And then a few weeks later, everyone forgets about it and goes back to doing what they did before. So I really would like to see us manufacture more. But to do that, we all need to make sure that we're willing to pay a little bit more for everything we do. I can see a big picture where if we make more here, we all have more jobs. That means that there's less unemployment. That means the government doesn't have to take as much tax. So if we do it and we all stick to it, then it will snowball and we will be so much better off. But I know that humans, and we're always let down by that one business who says, yes, we're making some money getting stuff made in Australia, but if I get it done somewhere overseas, I can make more money. So that business is letting the side down. It's the same with that person who says, well, I can buy that TV or that TV. That one's cheaper, and I don't understand why I should pay more for that one. So they've let the side down. I suppose, like everything, not everyone is going to do it right. We need to try and educate more to do it right, and we'll be okay.
Yeah, fantastic. All really good advice there for people, and I think your plan or that suggestion for Australia is something that we already really need to consider in our own businesses. I know I've made a conscious effort to employ only those in Australia, while other software and IT companies send work overseas. And what you're saying about manufacturing is really important too. A lot of our clients are in manufacturing, and they produce really good quality products compared to what can be purchased overseas as well. So I think there's all of those types of things, considerations that need to be taken into account. The knock-on effect that you explain is also something a lot of people don't consider a lot of the time too. So they see the increase in cost for the goods, but they don't see the knock-on effect of everyone, being able to afford it, because there's more people employed, economies of scale kick in, and all the rest as well, lower taxes and all the rest, lower inflation, things like that too potentially.
Yes.
So that kind of brings us to the end of the discussion. I mean, are you happy with how this kind of went for you at the moment? And
yeah,
do you have anything else?
I think it's been good. I just hope that if other people have jumped on and caught up with what we've been talking about, that maybe they've seen something that they can use in their business, or if they've seen that buying local can in the long run help us all, then if we can get one or two more people to look at that product on the shelf and say, oh, that was made in Australia, I'll buy that one, not that one. That's what we're here to do, and hopefully that works. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really good. Let's hopefully there's people watching and people watching it later that can sort of take that on board. And even if your business is suffering now, then I think once we come out of this and you might start a new business or your business recovers, then keep some of these things in mind so they help the community at large. So with all of that's the end of our second episode on We Mean Business. There's still a lot of people to talk to, so I'll be running one every day until we run out of businesses to talk to. So if you like the conversation, you see some value, be sure to like, share, subscribe. And if you've got a story that you'd like to share as well, comment and contact us also. We will be in touch. Tomorrow we've got Ash Rayner from KP Pro in Oxley, Queensland, who's going to talk about his IT services business, websites and the rest, and what he's been doing in the business community up there, Brisbane business community up there. So tune in. Tell others if you find value as well, and I look forward to chatting with you all then. Thanks again, Greg, for your time today, and we'll be in touch anyway over time.
And thank you for your initiative. That's been great as well.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks a lot, Greg. Good on you. See you all tomorrow.
Okay. Bye.